Hi everyone. It's been a few days, so welcome back. Let's do an arrange. There we go. It's been a few days since I've done a puzzle. It's been a long weekend for me, so I thought I would end up actually doing more puzzles, but I didn't. Yeah, so it's Monday. It's a 4-day weekend for me, which can feel kind of strange. It feels like a lot of time off. I've been working on a cross stitch quite a lot, which has been very relaxing. I've been working in the yard a little bit, but mainly working on seedlings. So I think I've mentioned before that it's new for me to have a yard that I can do things with, as opposed to like having a yard that's the landlord's and not being able to do much with it. So now that we own a house, we've been able to do things with it, which is really exciting. So I think I mentioned that we have a gutter garden with lettuce in it. So all the lettuce has sprouted, which is really exciting. So they're little tiny babies, and they're very cute. And we got a crow eating them the other day. So my partner he's an engineer, so he just sort of was like, I'll just make something. So he made these very nice looking chicken wire covers for them that will really help them stay undisturbed until they're quite a bit bigger, and crows wouldn't be interested in them. I think they're mainly interested in them because there's still seeds in them. So, and of course, then eventually we'll have to keep deer out, so I think it'll be useful for them too. So we've got that going. Our radishes are poking out. Still no word from our carrots, but from what I understand, carrots can take a while, so I'm not too worried. And then we have all of our seedlings inside. Our broccoli has just been so intense. It grew, I think we started seeing, I think after a day or two after planting them, the little tiny seedlings came out, which is very shocking to be so quick. And then then they just sprung up and were as big as our kale, who at that point were about 4 weeks old. And so it was very like, wow, this broccoli really wants to grow, which is really exciting because I really love broccoli. So I'm very excited to be eating my own broccoli. And the kale, which is now, about 5 weeks old at this point, is now outside in our, what are those boxes called when it's like a winter box? Like it's got a glass cover, like a door you can open, and it's so that we can keep it growing just throughout the entire year. Actually, it'll grow through the winter as well in this box. The name escapes me right now. So yeah, it's feeling like there's a lot growing, and that's exciting. I got a rose bush from my partner after I'd been away for a few days. Let's arrange this. There we go. And I had been kind of bummed that when we got our roof done, I think they stepped on the yellow rose bush that was outside that had come with the house, and I was like, way to kind of look really crappy, you guys. This is not cool. And so my partner bought me a pink rose bush, and it's doing really well. It wasn't doing so well for the first week or so until I realized it really needed out. It needed out of, I think there's blues over here, so I think some of these blues with yellow or yellow and green are over here. And And so I repotted it, and I got some flower food for it, and it's doing amazing now. I cut off the bits that had browned and were kind of dying, and yeah, it's doing really great. It's probably doubled in size. It has so many new leaves. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that, and I think we're gonna plant that outside now that it's warm enough and it won't be too vulnerable. So yeah, there's lots of gardening going on, and now getting in contact with people who want to come visit us in the summer. Where I live is a very it's like a summer destination, and I think the population doubles in the summer, which is pretty wild. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing people. They want to come in. There's a lot of fruit that's grown here, and so people are going to be coming to just, they can drive here. It takes about 7 hours from where I'm from to drive here. There's a ferry as well, and if you drive, you can buy flats of fruit. You can buy flats of cherries, peaches, apricots, plums, did I say apples? I think I said apples, peaches, apricots, cherries, plums, and wine. There's so much wine that there's like surrounded by vineyards. And so I think a lot of people are excited about coming and doing those kinds of things, which is great. I don't drink, but people can absolutely go and do that. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a really fun summer with lots of visitors. I've got some people coming next month. My mom is coming in the middle of the month, and then I've got 4 friends coming. I think the 2 weeks after that, it's one of them coming as far as London, England. Actually, 2 of them are coming from London, England. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to just having a really fun summer. We're building our kind of deck for the front, and that's going pretty okay. We may be dug too deeply, so we might have to put some of the dirt back. But my partner's figuring all that. Being an engineer, he's just doing a lot of math and figuring all that out. Maybe I should focus back on this puzzle. I don't feel like I'm doing... Oh, that one goes there. Doing that much. I feel like I'm kind of almost mindlessly doing this puzzle right now. So maybe we'll just focus back. You're going to go over there with all these colors, I think. Even though I haven't been taping puzzles, I of course have been doing puzzles. I just find them so relaxing. Though maybe not as many as I've done previously, because I am working on a really quite labor-intensive cross-stitch right now, and that uses a lot of my puzzle energy because of the level of, pardon me, the focus that's often needed, I find, to, when I read patterns. And it is it's a pattern I made in the sense that I found a stock photo online of an anatomical heart, and I'm just doing that. I found an free online pattern maker, and I'm just gonna, I just made it from that, and I'm following it. It's actually pretty good. I had to order, I think there's 71 colors in it, and I had maybe about 20 of them already, just in my embroidery floss stash, which can get pretty impressive. But I did have to order a lot of them. And then I ordered them, and of course I went through the order to confirm that it was correct. And lo and behold, they had given me the DMC color 151 instead of 152. So I wrote them back being like, hey, this is the wrong color. Is there a way that you can just send me, you know, the correct one that I ordered? And they were so apologetic and were like, right away, of course. And I got it within like a few days. I'm just gonna put this right on top here, just get it out of the way. And they were super apologetic, yeah, and it was great, and I got it. And so now I also have one of the other colors. And I, of course, didn't need it right away, so that was easy. But there's a lot of shades of red and purple and blue. Much like these colors down here that I'm circling, there's a lot of these colors. And at first, because it's realistic, and I'm just doing, you know, color by color and section by section, it's very abstract looking, and I posted a picture of it, I think, on Instagram and Facebook, and people were like, what is this? It looks like some kind of seahorse, because they were just looking at the aorta and some of the coloring that I had done, and I don't think anyone now would consider it looking like a seahorse. It looks much more heart-like, but there's still a lot to go. A lot of the big, like, swaths of color are done, which tend to be easier because you can just keep on going, but now I have the parts that, where you go there, that aren't, like, where there's like four stitches here, and of course you have to get the thread separate from the other pieces. Like, it's quite labor intensive to start a new color, so that takes up a lot of time. Oh, now it feels like we're speeding along here, getting a lot of this red done. So I'm sure it'll slow down, and it's for a birthday present in November, so I have lots of time. It would just be nice to get it out of the way, because I also need to figure out where to get it framed here and do all those not as exciting and interesting parts. I don't know if there's any really exciting parts of cross stitch. There's some satisfying parts, and it is quite meditative. I find it's been very peaceful to work on, especially when the world's, you know, the way that it is. Having those things, and I've said this before, and I'm going to just keep saying it, that having those things that it feels like we have control of can just feel so important and so necessary. Control gets a bad rap. I've probably said that before, and I'll keep saying it. The idea of control gets a bad rap, like, oh, you're trying to control things. Like, yeah, that's what we kind of have to do sometimes. Like, we have to have some things in the realm of our control, or we're completely helpless and vulnerable. So we do have to have the ability to control some things. I mean, fully acknowledging we can't control almost most things, but sometimes just enacting, like, I can move this piece and it goes there. I can move this piece and it goes there. I can solve this tiny problem in front of me. Sometimes just gives us the energy to be able to solve the bigger problems in our life, or to have the space to make them. Or I just find, see, now all our blue is gone. It's done, and that just feels so satisfying. I'm a pretty pragmatic person, and I do believe in whatever gets you through the night, especially if it doesn't hurt anyone. You know, we can all judge about whether or not it's, you know, healthy, moral, clean. Like, there's things, of course, that are, I'm not talking about extremes, but if doing something like puzzles is what helps you get through the night, then yeah, of course, do 1,000,000, do 100, do like however many you need. You know, there's no rules here, and we gotta try to make it through somehow. And here's our last piece, and we're done.